The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Tuesday. Tim Donnelly here, Graham Hill producing the show, sitting in for Dennis Cox. And the Canes did kind of what we asked them to do. They signed a center, proven ability, goal scoring, point production, has a 100-point season under his belt. Eric Staal to a one-day contract.
Are we sure he can't play for an entire season?
What if they
Are we absolutely sure?
So Eric Staal is signing the ceremonial one-day contract to retire a Carolina Hurricane. They as part of the agreement, and there's a cool video that shows the emotion for Staal. Part of the agreement, he's going to come back to Raleigh and have his jersey put in the rafters during a game this season. What if they just, right before he signed it, crossed out one day and put 1 year?
Oh, no, we forgot to read over it one last time.
Look at that.
That's all a mistake.
Legally, now you're part of the team. You signed it, right? And once the ink is dried, you signed a contract. Should have had your lawyers look over it. Eric Staal, it's appropriate. It's deserved. I know that, he had, what was it, a 16, 18-year career. 12 of them with the Canes. You wish it would have ended that way. But Walt Ruff, team reporter, put out these statistics. Eric Staal's ranks in the Canes record book since relocation. So we're talking Canes, not Whalers. He is first in goals scored, first in assists, first in points, first in games played, first in power play goals, first in power play points, and first in hat tricks. That many first. Oh, and by the way, a cup. You do all of that, you end up with your jersey number 12 in the rafters. Congratulations to Eric Staal. Congratulations everybody for making it happen. It's a good move by the front office. It's just it's a fan service award.
And congratulations, Jordan Staal. I mean,
there you go.
There's your brother, and it kind of
Jared and the
rest
the fourth
of them
one as well.
And it's kind of just like a pass. It solidifies the pass of the torch because hopefully there'll be another a Staal jersey going up into the rafters in a couple of years.
That's probably a conversation for another day, but I think he's probably a cup away. If Jordan gets a cup, I think he goes up in the rafters. Or if he randomly scores a bunch more points. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The real news, the real signing that we're still reacting to for the Carolina Hurricanes is Martin Necas agreed to a 2-year, $13 million total value deal yesterday. This is how sports works. Yesterday, all right, cool. Martin Necas under contract, not going anywhere. Now we know. Today, all right, what's next? Right? You get to it's sports, right? You get 24 hours to celebrate? It's really not even that anymore. You get that night to celebrate. The next day, you're watching film. Seth Jarvis and Seth Jarvis's representatives now know there's really no reason for the Canes to be focused on much else but reaching that middle ground, reaching that fair point on a long-term deal with Seth Jarvis. 8 years, $8 million. That's where I'm putting it. 8 years, $8 million per year. I don't think there's much of a debate. He is worth it, and you have the money, right? The only reason that I was even entertaining some of the maybe you put him on a bridge deal. Maybe you put him on a 4 or 5 year deal. Maybe you find this other common ground. The only reason I was going to be okay with that is I thought perhaps they were going to spend so much money that that's all they had left, right? If the cap says that's all you have left, then that's all you can give them. But after our conversation yesterday with Adam Gold, where he did some, I think he called it back of the napkin math, and showed us that there is enough money for Jarvis to get the type of deal that he probably deserves. 8 years, $8 million. 8 years, $8 million for Seth Jarvis. You're happy with it. You put the jerseys in the team store. You sell a bunch of them. You keep turning him into a star. You keep giving him more responsibility. That's what's next up.
I mean, at the end of the day, it just feels like that $8 million that was going to go to Jake Gensel. Like, why not just go ahead and just slide that over to Seth Jarvis, a guy that's a part of your core right now?
Part of your core, has done everything you've asked, continues to do everything you ask, and can really become a star in your program.
Plays great, healthy, injured.
Plays so well injured that we weren't sure he was injured. Played with the torn labrum and the torn rotator cuff for most of the season.
Broken finger.
We didn't notice he was hurt until he also broke his finger in the postseason. Then we started going, all right, something's not right here. But I mean, how many injuries can you hide? The other thing that's next is you have to start imagining, envisioning, and this is Rod Brind'amour, this is the assistant coaching staff, this is conversations with everyone. You have to start envisioning how you're going to put these lines together. All right, Martin Necas is coming back. No dumb ideas. Where's he playing? Do you give him a couple shots at being a center? I'm not saying you pencil him in, but do you let him try it out in preseason? Do you let him get some scrimmage in? Aho and Svetch, to me, are on that first line. Again, Adam Gold brought up yesterday, maybe you put Necas up there with them because Seth Jarvis then has the ability to really raise the level of one of the other lines, and he has had some success playing alongside Stahl. Right? That's the equivalent of, in the NBA, a lot of times your sixth man, first guy off the bench, is like your third best player, right? Because he has the ability to raise the level of everyone on that second unit. Seth Jarvis is, I mean, if you're just putting your best three players on your first line, he's a first line guy. But if you take Seth Jarvis and put him on your second line, maybe he can raise the level of that line a little bit better than somebody like Necas. Or do you start with Necas and Kokiniemi on the second line and say, all right, that's what we're starting with. Who do we put with him? Jordan Martinook. The Daily Faceoff has Bradley Nadeau, the rookie, penciled into that second line. Could it be Roslovic? Right now that you know kind of what the chess pieces are going to be, try it out, right? Play it out in your brain. How much experimenting needs to happen? How much will be on Necas' shoulders to carry that line if he is on that second line? Because if that ends up being Kokiniemi, Martinook, and then Necas, I'm looking at Necas and saying, This is where you get to prove you're a superstar.
This is part of your prove it deal for the next 2 years.
You're going to get some help from some solid play, but any kind of dynamic ability coming from that line is coming from you. Make it happen. And also, if you're Necas, that's got to be a kind of a cool place to be, right? It's the example I always use, and I'm not sure why this one always pops in my brain, is that 1 year where the Warriors stunk in the middle of the Warriors dynasty, and Klay Thompson was hurt from the year before. I think Draymond Green was hurt, and Steph was the last one out there, and I was like, I'm so excited for this. I want to see what Steph Curry can do when he doesn't have to be selfless, right? I want to see what it's like when it's like, hey, I'm going to take every shot. Now, of course, Steph ended up getting hurt also, so it didn't work out. But if I'm Necas and I'm like, all right, yeah, you don't have to go out of your way to make sure Martinook's getting his shots. You don't have to go out of your way to make sure Kokiniemi's getting his shots. A mediocre shot from you might be the best shot you get on that rotation. So pull the trigger. And then, oh, by the way, that might lead to a long-term deal if you perform. It also might just boost your value on the open market if and when you hit it in 2 years. What's next for Martin Necas? What's next for the Carolina Hurricanes? That's how pro sports works. Months and months and months. Are you going to trade Necas? We got these offers. Are you going to trade him? Oh, he doesn't want to go to that spot. He won't agree to a long-term deal there. Oh, but he wants out. Oh, can he do this? Can he do that? Can you trade him? Will you trade him? All of that lines up to, as soon as you get to a resolution, what's next? Always something on the back burner. Always something ready to be next. Right now, take care of Seth Jarvis. Figure out your lines. Or at least figure out the plan for your lines, right? We're going to try this first. If this doesn't work, we'll move this. I'm fine with that, a bunch of experimentation in the preseason. Sometimes that's actually the best way to handle it.